Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of The Letter running on Series X. Okay, where were we? Let's get this curse started, huh?
If you say so.
Okay guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
I think I do. Hold on.
I pulled myself off from Becca to get my wallet from my bag, and
What's this?
it's already in Ash's hands before I can even react. Behind him, Becca and Zach are both giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
No! Give it back!
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
Looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around?
I try to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head. I've never been particularly sensitive about my own height, but right now I really wish I had that advantage over him.
Don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This isn't it?
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay, now I'm curious.
I'm telling you it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. I can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They're still shaking, but I hang onto them regardless. Get over there. Why is that prompt so big? The awful sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force with Samantha Fox. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Someone please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else. Well, that's interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see. I don't want to see. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way...
It's not a prank.
It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised with how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've got to be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up.
There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
Hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing.
Look at her portrait, her cat eyes. Ow.
We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter out of Ash's hand and stuffed it back in my bag with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed, saw a ghost, probably lost the sale, got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting, my own friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention I can't afford to give right now. Honestly, there's only so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about the day. Before I can take a single step away from the group.
Guys!
Zach rarely ever raises his voice even when there's a point he wants to drive home, and hearing him take on that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together?
Oh, Zach, are you gonna be the first one to die? You're like way too helpful. Plus, you're the darkest skinned member of the cast so far, and you know, if you follow horror movie troops, then it's not looking good for you, Zach.
We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca too. I'm pretty sure there's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet despite Zach's attempts to lighten things up or Ash and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's a prank. If I did, things might not have turned out the way they had. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless. So careless. Maybe leaving is the better decision for us all? Oh, I mean, they've already seen the letter. It's not like going home is going to solve anything. So, yeah, let's stay for the movie. Another day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. Or any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. But this is something special to Zach. Something he worked so hard to bring to life. I should know better. I might be having a bad day, but being with the few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. And what if the thing in the attic follows me home? I don't want to be left with my thoughts either. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. And maybe if I stay, let our heads cool down first before telling them what happened, they'll listen to me. There's nothing you can't solve with a calm head. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to tell me. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. The smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
This time I really do send an elbow straight to his stomach. Stupid Ash. Being vertically challenged has its perks too.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
Boy, Ash really is kind of a jerk. But you know, some boys don't know how to act around girls they like, so, whatever.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchange looks at that, the same question likely swimming inside our minds. Did something happen at school after I left? Is she having a bad day too? Just a little fit of jealousy, no biggie. I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food I promised.
But you'll miss it!
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? And it ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
Okay, Zach, it's good knowing you. Now is an opportunity for you to be first killed. One friendly tap on my shoulder, and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about. Some are still waiting in line for tickets, but otherwise, most of the crowd are already inside. There's nothing much for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures for the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. Are you guys talking during the movie? Are you fucking serious? Especially a premiere. Throw your asses out. To be fair, Zach was the one who brought it up again. In his own movie premiere. Yeah, Jesus, man. Now the film's just serving us background noise while we're speaking in hushed tones. Careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. I'm sorry, there's no way you can be ever quiet enough in a movie theater not to have people hear you, unless you're the only ones in there. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We'd all get kicked out for sure. Though, with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I'd think we did something that offended her. Did we? Yeah, like talking during the damn movie.
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but geez, he should learn to listen. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Oh boy, the dark guy being afraid of ghosts. Well, horror movie tropes, or horror story tropes. I'm a little disappointed to see them here, though. Oh, the house did change hands over the years, from one distant relative of the Ermengardes to another. None of them bothered to live in it, though, and it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering a suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There are very few times in my life when I wish my glowers can kill. What the hell does that mean? Okay, whatever. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant. Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the mention of her name.
Huh? What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. And can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one. But talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things. And probably put your fears to rest, since this looks to be bothering you a lot.
Ash might be right too. However, what Zach suggested is something I'm more familiar with. Granted, they don't believe me. They're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease, but it's better than being ignored or being laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing they are willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
I don't know.
Meet with the priest, meet with the professor? Why the hell would I meet with the professor? That is like the stupidest thing to do in a horror story. Let's go meet with the professor and have him talk about my mother. Screw you, game.
I'll think about it. But maybe we could go with Zach's idea?
Besides, we have to be nice to Zach while he's still alive, because he's definitely being the first one to be killed in this thing.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to try, right? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least we did something than just stand around. I'll let you know when he's available, Bella.
Thanks, Zach. I knew I could count on you.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it. Yet you're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this. The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
I throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging at her. We really need to talk. We all fall into a comfortable silence after, the kind only you can share with people you're most at ease with. For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. For a few hours, how long is that damn movie? Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling full of people. Those about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about. Walking in this sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxbourne. I was afraid too, at one point, back when I was new and had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels more like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the day ends. And Ash? Who knows? He never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to the latter's frustration. But he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier. Huh?
A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening, breathing becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth. The edges of my vision blurs. In the distance, amidst the countless nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Pleading even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering. Calling out. Help me, please.
No, not me.
Somebody.
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place. The murmur's gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just... okay. Sorry, I spaced out.
You always do that.
I follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street. Where the voice came from, were another set of eyes. Oh, where the voice came from. Where another set of eyes might be staring at me. Nothing. There are only Zach and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked her car. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show. Try not to think of the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling up at the pit of my stomach.
See you guys some other time.
Yeah, see ya!
Another glance, and with a final wave, we go off on our own ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. And if this is what would help me sleep tonight, what would give back that normalcy in my life, then so be it. October 22nd, Saturday. The darkness closes around me, grasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in, and without warning, I'm falling. My eyes snap open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders ache after I've fallen asleep all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I lift my eyes to adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxborn, or at least none that I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not that crazy vivid, but more like the pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone? The knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
Time to clean up your place, girl. Jesus. A habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Where's my
Admittedly, it's a weekend. As an unspoken rule, that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened. Oh lord, one box of donuts as peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first, my mind conflicted whether I should just ignore it or answer it. But what if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss? Sheesh. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the call. The caller ID reads Mama.
Huh?
It's around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now.
That's an unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noontime here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else other than an international call. Regardless, in the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello?
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there was something I could do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to do is not to make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Odds are, Kuya Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well... Aunt Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee-deep in debt.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach. From the way Mama's voice hitches, she doesn't want to bring it up either.
Papa. Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well.
Oh boy, that's depressing.
The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he's been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders. Although Mama makes a little, accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the cost of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our own government because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I start to think that the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama. You taught me not to lie, yet look what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition, too.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Ah. Kaoyu? When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the only person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later, and I still can't give them a straight one. I smile, though Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion over on the other end. The sound of gates opening. The voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his day at school. The tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Oh, well, sounds like my old marriage, my second one. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away the thoughts beginning to swim inside my head. It's pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. No doubt Mama forgot to say something.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
You could tell me now. I'm on the phone. There's the telltale din of several feet shuffling against the wooden flooring, and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting, but it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone and finish my shower in record time. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat, if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxembourg office greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at various volumes, staff moving about, and...
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees? What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice!
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. That's kind of an abusive boss of quitting time for me. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is, half their workload have been shifted to all available staff, so as not to lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rolls pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. The page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge, where I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alit with something akin to joy. She wants the sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed yet. Documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there, along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house.
You didn't have to do any damage control. Give me a break. They already wanted to buy.
I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
Is Isabella kind of dumb? That was pretty straightforward to me.
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price, as long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible.
Yeah, see, this is a sign of the times. Obviously, that sounds impressive. Probably when this game was being made, but nowadays that is normal. As anyone who's gone house hunting in any area that's in demand knows, list prices nowadays are minimum prices. So, yeah, well, the world's a different place than when I was growing up. Huh?
I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh, I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I haggle it down to the lowest possible price, and if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take long for me to finish what work she has left for me. In fact, after having our boss sign the agreement is the easiest since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel! How are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday. Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
After that sale, I would never correct my name in front of her. Personally. Really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hannah skips through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for and the process contracts like these undergoes. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She knows some of it to her, or she shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it's purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they are buying, or he simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then? Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there."
Of course, why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it. Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after. but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home. No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us. Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both of her hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips demanding our silence.
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion. Did I mention we reward our people generously?
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Especially since I cursed you and you're probably going to be killed. I feel a little guilty about it myself.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
Oh, does this game really take place in the Philippines? I mean, that's definitely not English-looking money. Well, I guess it could be. I don't know. Maybe it is. She smiles sweetly, like this is simply the most normal thing in the world to do.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house. You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that, transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling even after they left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Sure, the commission's big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that someone's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money, Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell them next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too, aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you going to do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ear, as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food. Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Today?
Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I've learned. Eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, to do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of curiosity, I never pressed on that matter further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives. Our goals we both let pass us by because of circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bells sound shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agent also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out. But oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry packing your lunch, time to make good on promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash, too. Maybe not Ash. In the end, only Becca and Zach would come. Oh, good. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again. Right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We have agreed to meet at a nearby cafe. The same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a bit wee out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, we still love it all the same. Much like its facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces and a row of shelving boasts an extensive collection of books. Cover the walls. Boy, some of these sentences are weird. Yeah, it would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on a weekend, the place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance, the kind born purely out of differing interests. That or Zach simply afraid of Becca. It's not impossible, and I wouldn't blame him if she is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. Even I am a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. Let's order food first, okay?
The waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausage, and potatoes in it. But today is a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it, nevertheless, and leaves without a comment. Becca furrows her eyebrows, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. But Becca's far from being my mom. A small sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side, or at least that's what the daily special board says. Wait, that's nothing fancy? Are you shitting me? I never did pay attention to it whenever I come here, since they priced whatever's written way above what I'm willing to spend on food in a single day. Now, the special is like all the leftovers. Things are about to go bad. I'm surprised they would price it so high.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
I mean, that's the secret of the restaurant business.
You're always hungry.
Hey! Not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An unexpected grin breaks out on my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately trying to search for someone to explain it. Oh, bummer. Maybe I should rephrase it? Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. Well... That's just being a jerk. Although I guess he probably deserves it. Oh well, why don't we stop it there? I think that's a good place. This is audap. You've been watching The Letter, running on Series X. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.